Hello, hello. Good afternoon. My name is Gail Walker, and go ahead and log in, and I'll cut off. Let's hang up. We're going to do a live organization and productivity coaching session with a client. Her name is Lois Browne, and she is actually in the building stage. So she has had an idea for a long time, and she's been doing it in one particular way. But what what she's working towards is to move her business model from how she's currently doing it into a different um, into a different way of operating. So, hello, hello, hi Lois, how are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Walker.
So if you can just give everyone a little some background on what we've been doing, where you are in your process. And if you can talk a little bit about how we got to where we are right now, it would be helpful to anyone that could potentially that would be watching it now or anyone who will watch it later on. So just give a little bit of background about who you are, what you're doing, and where you are in your process right now.
Okay. Um, my name is Lois Brown, and I started a slumber party rental business, but I saw that there was a unfulfilled need in another area, and I kind of like wanted to still use that, but use it in a different way. And so there's not really a template for it, and so it's like I have to kind of like build this business from scratch. So I've just been having lot of challenges along the way that I kind of needed some help with. And so first I thought we spoke like on Monday,
Okay.
and I thought that but the problem was I needed a space. So my focus was on I needed a space, I need to get a space, I need to get a space. But as we begin to talk and you begin to coach me some more, I realized that it wasn't a space that I really needed. I didn't need a space right now. What I needed was to begin to build out my business. And I in my head, I thought I could just run with the what I had built up before and put it into the space. But
Okay.
then I come to realize that there's more to it than just running with that with what I had. I had to
Mhm.
kind of like build it all out.
Okay.
So that's where I had this board. But first I had to like this is like my vision board from my business.
Okay.
And so I had to kind of like take what was here or inside of me. I had to draw it out on this board,
Okay.
and then I wrote out all these sticky notes all around it, all the ideas and all the thinkings, everything on here.
Okay.
But as we were talking, I realized that I was talking to you about, oh, I realized that I need to focus on the task that I needed to do, focus
Okay.
on the smaller tasks. There was things that I need to do, things that I need to make, the little things behind the scenes, that I needed to do. And
Okay.
I was telling you all of that, and then you was like,
Things that I need to make,
Lois,
things behind the scenes.
you needed to kind of like take what is here and put it into a more scheduled task so that you'll be able to complete these, so you'll be able to keep it. It would be in one space, you
Okay.
to complete it, and it will be completed in a timely manner,
Okay.
not years or months or um,
Okay.
You know how we get to 'em.
Yes. Yes. Sure do.
Sure.
We sure do. Okay. Um, and so what we're going to do today is we're going to take all those tasks and we're going to organize it in a way that's not just on that board, but what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to put it into a system that you already use, an application you already use.
Right.
You're just going to start using it in a different way.
Right.
So I'm not sure whether you're aware or not, but because you have Gmail, whether you have a business Gmail or just regular Gmail, it gives you access to what's called a tasks, right? So you get an application, it's a task application, and you can begin to use the task application to build out what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is right here. Okay, before we get here, do you see under my, this thing is doing it differently. Let me get over to my, are you able to see my mouse moving?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm currently in my Gmail environment, right? So my Gmail is going to look the same as yours. Regardless of whether you have a business Gmail or a personal, it's going to look the same. Over right here on the right hand side, do you see the, when I hover over my profile image,
Yeah.
right below it you see a calendar.
Mm-hmm.
It says calendar. Below that you keep, and so I'll click on calendar to show you that calendar just brings up your calendar feature. We click on keep. Keep brings up the keeps folder, and what that does is this allows you to write your notes. You know how you have notes on sticky pads
Yeah.
or sticky notepads?
Yes.
So what you can do is if you have a quick note that you want to send to yourself, just open up your Gmail, click on the notes, and drop a note here, right? So whatever it is that you want to do, you can drop the note in here. Do you have a question?
No.
Okay. So the next feature underneath it, with the right here, you have a checkbox. It's your task feature.
Okay.
So your task feature, this is where you are going to be able to organize all the different small, from menial to large tasks that you need to create. If you do not want to get a whole other program, you might as well just utilize the Gmail and the Google system to the highest potential that it allows you to. So when you click on your tasks up here, your mine has, I've already created different lists. So I have a list, and then all these different tasks I have under a particular list. So I did this list. So you can utilize a list in multiple ways. You can use it to create your each list. Each time you create a new list,
Mm-hmm.
that is the hierarchy of all the tasks that's going to go under that list. So a list is the same thing as a file folder. Let's see. You know how where you take one of these file folders and you say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I need to start organizing, and then you start printing off paper and you use one of these, or you will use a manila envelope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same thing what the list is. You create lists for different things that you want to start tracking activities within that line item.
Okay.
You can do the same thing for your client. Each time you have a client, okay, so you create a new list for that client. Okay, so I'm gonna take you through it. So I'm gonna say we have Billy Bob event. right?
Mm-hmm.
Under Billy Bob event, now as the client, now what you start doing is you start putting the different things that you need to get together for this particular event.
Okay.
So one of the things is you have to connect with the at a task, call client.
Okay.
Here it's discuss themes, theme ideas, and color scheme, right? You create a date and time. We're going to put it today's date. And you can set the time here. So we'll set the time to 4 o'clock, okay, 4 p.m. Over on this side, over here is when you do this particular task,
Mm-hmm.
you click here and you mark it complete and it will go away. If you haven't completed the task yet, don't click what's happening over here.
Okay.
Anything that you completed goes down to the bottom. You see it at the bottom?
Yes.
We're going to uncheck it and it goes back up to the top, right? So here we go. So we have call the client. Once you call the client and the client tells you what the color scheme is, what the theme is, and what the colors, and you go through all of that information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you take everything that you learned within that discussion and then you begin to break the task out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay, you say to yourself, okay, we need to, there's going to be 8 children, there's going to be 8 attendees to this event. The color scheme is this, and for that's when you start creating the tasks under, you add another task to it, and the other task would be contact vendor, to see if they have whatever, or go to purchase whatever the item is you need to
Okay.
purchase. Um, create create custom create custom nameplate. Create this, create that. All the things that you need to do as it pertains to this event,
Mm-hmm.
you can create tasks for it, and as you complete it, you mark it off, and that way you know what you still have left to do and what you have already completed. And by the time you're done checking off all those lists, then everything you needed to do for your part of this event should be complete.
Okay.
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 It's the same thing that you can do for your business tasks.
Okay.
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 So on the business, on the business forefront, you are going to do something where you're going to, for each of your, it's kind of like you're putting things into departments, right?
Right.
So you're going to have your administrative or administration, you're going to have marketing, you're going to have so you're going to have accounting, right? You're going to have um, you're going to have things like
Contract.
contracts, policies and procedures, and all the things that you need to start putting together, start getting together for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Plan it out in here. Because what this is going to do, each time that you create a task, right? Each time you create a task, you are going to start getting reminders
Okay.
that this task is coming due.
Okay.
You are going to be able to then pull up your calendar and see on your calendar what the different things that you're supposed to be doing on any particular day, how that is going to come into how that is going to come into focus,
You know,
right?
that makes sense because because my day, I would just, think about it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, I do the, because I work from home. So, you do the normal task in the home. By that time, everything just flies out of my head. And I kind of like get half of the stuff, not even half, maybe one thing finished. So it wouldn't be a productive day. So this kind of like um, keeps me focused.
Okay.
I'm not distracted, and to complete deadlines. So this is gonna really help. This makes sense.
Okay. We have a couple questions. Okay. So, um, as it pertains to this, is there any can can you see how you can break down your do you get a better idea of how to break down the tasks that you have, all those tasks you have on that on your vision board, how you can bring your vision board and it stop just being a vision that's not only in your head but
Right.
one that's on the sheet, that's on your board,
Right.
and you can take it and you can bring it in to this particular environment,
Right.
right? Where all those tasks that you know that you have to do, because one of the things that we spoke about was you have to make sure that you get um, your vendors lists. Let's talk about all the things that you have. Um, do you mind if I stop sharing the screen now so we can just have a conversation?
Okay.
Or do you still need to see?
Oh no.
Okay. So you have different pieces. So one of the things that happen is that new business owners and entrepreneurs and startups, it's real easy to get discouraged because it seems as if everything that you need to do is just so overwhelming. It's so
Yes.
insurmountable,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And there's just so many things to do and not enough time in the day to do it. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much, right?
Right.
But if you break it down into chunks,
Yeah.
smaller things,
Okay.
and you just move through those things, it will make the process so much easier for you guys. So much easier. So that if you because one of the places where you guys get stuck is, okay, where do I even start? Because you're looking at
The whole
all
picture.
these
Yeah.
things and all you can see is there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to what am I supposed to do with all of this? There's just so much stuff. There's too much. I can't do it, and you become overwhelmed. Take the only way that you will be able to remove the overwhelm is if you start to put things into smaller chunks. It's
Yeah.
more like putting things into perspective. You have to start somewhere. So let's just start from the beginning. Let's start with the most urgent task that needs to happen in order for you to move to the next stage. What do you need to do now in order to move to the next stage that you know you need to move to? So now it moves from um, having it
Need.
holds you accountable
Right.
for the it holds you accountable for making your business to move
Yeah.
forward to the next level.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be able to have any, a lot of times, especially if you ask someone to do something and then you sit there and you wait and you're waiting and it doesn't get done and you see that it's not getting done and you wait, because why? Because you're not holding yourself accountable, you're holding that person that you asked to do something.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if they're not getting paid to do it, then they have their own things that they have to do, right? So
Right.
then it's accountability. What are all the things that you know you need to do to move your business forward? And yes, the person that said it sounds like one of the Facebook users said it sounds like this list also forces accountability and and make things manageable. Exactly. That's
Yes,
exactly what it
it
does. You
does.
put it into manageable chunks so that you can continue to keep moving forward, because if you don't, there's going to be a you're going to just keep looking at the same big pile of what you are going to eventually see as garbage.
Mm.
It's not garbage, but because you let it pile up and pile up and pile up so much that you're going to be like, oh, I have to chuck it. This isn't working. It's not working. The idea is not working. It's not that the idea isn't working. It's not even
Right.
that the idea isn't a great idea. It's just that you didn't create a plan.
Exactly.
So because you didn't create a plan, you might not have thought you created a plan. You created a plan to fail, and fail miserably and horribly, and you're going to fall really hard. So plan things out. Okay, you know that, say you're still at the building stage, even though you do certain events, right? Even
Right.
though you do events now,
Right.
you have a certain place that you want to go. You don't
Right.
want to keep going into people's homes. You
No.
want to have, what you want to do is you want to move your slumber party business from you going into, okay, one second. It says, I'm curious to know how Miss Brown decides what is critical on her vision board. Looks like it is a lot. Okay, so let's answer that question for the user. If you can give your name, if you would like to, that'd be awesome. That way I can speak directly to you. But why don't you tell us what is the most critical
Okay.
things on your plate right now, and how do you decide what's critical? And do you decide that things are critical, or do you just
Yes.
do?
Okay. So my vision board is not. It's not like I had to I was kind of overwhelmed. Well, I know what I wanted for my business. I know what I wanted, but I know what I wanted. I know what I saw in my mind, or
Mhm.
not really in my mind. I know what I saw inside, but my mind was not connecting with the vision. I know what I wanted. I could say what I wanted, but there was a disconnect somewhere until I just decided to, you know what, I'm going to like draw it out. So I drew it out, what I wanted the space to look like, well, what I wanted in the space. I drew out what it is that I wanted it all to look like. And
Mhm.
then after I drew it all out, then I was able to, it's kind of like having a planned description, knew who my customers were, um, what I would offer in the space. I was just breaking it down from being something um, big into like tiny chunks. So it's not like everything is on here is to-do list. It's just what I wanted in my space, what I wanted for my business. So it's just breaking it down so that I can understand, breaking it down so that whenever I look at it, I can either add to it and things like that. So I had like themes, I had like pricing, what it was, what I wanted to offer. I had different things, what I wanted in the space, all those things. And then it was like, okay, after I did all of that, now I kind of jumped from that to I was focusing on the space.
Okay.
Okay. So my mind was just wrapped up in the space without realizing that I don't need the space right now. I am going to need the space, yes, but the space is not the problem right now. It is um, doing the things that I needed to do in order to get to the space. Like I need to make pillows. I had some pillows. I had themes already, but I had some themes, but I didn't like put all the themes together that I needed to have. um, I needed to make some things, just different things. I need to do my business plan. I needed to, my website. I needed to, just the little things, the administrative things, the business side, as well as the creative side. So
Okay.
it's like, I do have a mentor to help me with I mean, I do have, like, being helped with the business part, but the creative part of the business is
Okay.
where I needed to and also needed help.
Okay.
So I just need to balance the creative versus the business. So it was that where I came up with all of this. I know it seems
Okay.
like a lot, but I can for me is I can understand. It's like I was like building my business out on this board, but
Visual.
taking it from the board and putting it into a plan is what I needed help with.
Okay. So,
So
first things first. Hi, Anne. How are you? Nice to have you here. And one of the next, another session that we're going to have is actually taking that vision board and transferring that vision board to an actual vision board, but in the virtual world, right?
right,
So, once again, we're going to utilize Google to take everything that you have on that board, and we're going to put it up on a whiteboard. And then on the whiteboard, you'll be able to see all how everything correlates. You'll be able to create a flow of activities and things that you need in order for all the things that you want to do, how it all comes together. So
right,
not only will you be able to see it there, we're going to work where you can so that you can see it. So when there's a Facebook user, you said, so what is first? What is first when it comes to uh, give me a little bit more information. What is first in what area? um, where are you in your, what stage are you in your building of your business? um, and maybe that will give me a little bit of information about when you say what is first. So if you can um, chime in. And Lois, do you mind if I add, say, a link to this stream so maybe others can pop in?
sure, no problem.
Okay. So
I just want to say that for my business, I kind of had it. It's already I built it out already. I mean, I did the. I was doing a rental business, but now I'm taking that rental business into a place space. So some of the things that I already have, some of the things that inventory I have, things that I already built out. But there's when you going into a space is different. When you just go into people's home, it's one thing, but in an actual space, it's more to it. I realize there's more to it that um, I couldn't just take that um, um, mentality or way of
okay.
thinking into that into a more permanent space. There's more things that is needed to that.
Okay. There's a user, there's a someone on Facebook, and they're asking you um, to identify what is the first thing that you need to tackle. It's it says you mentioned business building and creative. They want to know, what is the first thing that you need? What is the first thing that you need to tackle? I guess they're asking, what do you need to tackle now?
Okay,
So, so for right now, we were doing this because you needed to be able to get your thoughts, put your thoughts into action. You
right,
wanted to be able to create these task lists so that you can move yourself through where you are now
right,
to having all these things that you need to do. But how are you going to do it? And so we decided that you were going to break it into tasks, and that's where the task list came from.
right,
But go ahead, and how do you identify what's the first thing that you need to tackle? Like, what do you need to do today to make tomorrow when you start again tomorrow, you're in a different place than you are today.
There's some things that I needed to uh, that I have. I need to have a business plan. I need to work on my business plan. I already have my business name. I have the name. I register for my business. I did all of that. It's just the business plan that I need to work with. Um, then uh, that's the part on the business side. And
Okay.
then, working with the also coming up with um, the contracts and the policies and all those things on that end. And then on the creative end is where I need to kind of like put my themes together. um, I have some, I bought up things, but it's like I just need to spend time breaking down, making out those different themes. So therefore, it's a unicorn theme. I just need to put all those, things that I would do in that
Okay.
space, making the unicorn theme and
Okay.
just different themes so that I can have, even if it's just a basic thing and then I can add on, but just having those basic things and then, eventually add on to it, and things like that. But just having those themes built out that I have to offer um, in my space for my
Okay.
clients. Um, then I have, because I'm going to be doing activities, and so it's like I have to gather all the materials and things that I would need, you know, to have for my activities. And also I have to make things, and so I have to you know uh, make my A-frames, make my aprons, pillows, because I make things. I want to make my own things, so I want to make my backdrops. I want to, I just different things that I want to make because it's I don't have, because of the not because of money I can buy, but I my hands. I like to use my
Okay.
hands, and so making things for other people, because I've been in the business for over 20 years. Parties, doing parties for family, for friends, for weddings, things like that. But I just want my own
Okay.
space, and so I just those things that I just needed to do, you know.
Okay. 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 So what have we decided is the thing that you need to do today to start in a better place tomorrow? Start at a place of strength tomorrow
Okay.
and purpose.
What I want to do is take like we were discussing earlier, of putting these tasks
Okay.
in Google and then putting them on the Google tasks and scheduling,
Yeah.
making sure that they do get done. Because it's like I know I need to do it, but if I don't schedule it, if it's not, I don't wake up and say, "Oh, I need to," something else will pop up, and then it never gets done, and it gets pushed back.
Yes.
And so I don't want to. I want to be more productive, and I want to keep going forward, in my business, and I do want to like launch my next year.
Okay.
So I have to do this. This is
Okay.
really going to help me.
Okay. So so today you learned how to take everything that you have there. You learned how to put your tasks into the Google environment, where Gmail gives you access to tasks.
Right.
And if you do go and you check out the whiteboard feature, you get to see those as well. You
Okay.
know, Google also has a notes feature. They have various features within Google that will actually help you to manage your time, be able to flesh out ideas
Okay.
in different ways. So turn to Google if there's something that you know that you need. One of the first things that you do is you'd go over to the Google, you click up there where it says Google Apps,
Hmm.
and see what Google app might be there to help you to accomplish what you want. And once you choose an app, it gets pulled into your Gmail environment, right? The app will show up on the right side of your screen. If you have it loaded, it will show up on the right side of your screen, because everything that you see there now is preloaded from Google. The things that they think that people would need to use the most, they've already placed it there for you, right?
Okay.
But if there's anything else that you want to use, you can just bring the app over so that it can help you. So today, to finalize what we know that everyone should be doing is, when not just you, but for others, it would be to make sure that you break your tax down into smaller chunks, and to be a bit to organize it into groups, right? Because there are certain tasks that you're going to do that belong in a certain business area. So marketing, right? Have
Mhm.
one of your lists is marketing. You can break the marketing down even further when you open up that feature. When you go into just that feature where it's that, it allows you to do so much more instead of it just showing up truncated on the side.
Okay.
When you do open up the task feature, it gives you more flexibility within that application to be able to create subtasks and things along that nature. So to take something that's insurmountable and make it something that you can then begin to climb that mountain, break it down into smaller pieces. And for you, you're breaking down those tasks so that you can become more productive.
Yeah.
You cannot be productive if you're just staring at this thing
That's
and
what
you're
I've been
doing
doing.
nothing. Okay, you can't. You have to do something. You have to do something.
I
Because
write on it.
well, no, because you write on it, right? Exactly. Because what I was just about to say is, what you're going to end up doing is creating a bigger mess. You're going to create a bigger mound. The mound will only get bigger because there's more things that's going to need to be added, because that's just business. But if you start doing things, that mound will get smaller and smaller, right? Until it goes away, and then the task that you put on, you'll be able to knock those things out so that you can move on to the next things, because the tasks don't stop.
I know it makes sense.
The tasks will never stop, because, well, actually it will stop. It will stop when the business is no longer viable, right? When the business dies, then it will stop. So do you want the business to die, which is
No.
exactly where you were 2 days ago,
Um,
right? I don't want to do
no.
it. It's just too.
No.
No,
Well.
no. I mean, where you looked at it and you were like, "Oh, I don't want to
No,
do
I
it."
was no, I was thinking I needed a space.
Right.
I thought the space was the problem until at the end of our conversation before you hung up, I realized it wasn't the space. I needed to be more productive with the things that I had on this board.
Because if you get the space, if you get the thing before you are prepared, when you get the thing, it's going to fail
Yeah,
because you're not prepared.
exactly.
So
People don't plan
don't
to fail,
focus on
they fail to plan.
people who fail to plan on failing. Because either which way, you have a plan, whether you know it or not. You plan to fail if you don't create a plan. And your plan is, make sure that you start doing something. But don't just do anything willy nilly. It needs to be something of purpose that's going to move your business forward. If your business is not being moved forward, there's no point in doing that particular task. If it's not going to get you to your end goal, then it's a waste of energy and it's a waste of time. and your time can best be used in other places. And if you don't get these things together and start having a system so that you can be productive, what you're going to find that happens is there's going to be a lot of different distractions that comes to into play. There's things that's going to pop in your mind and it's going to be, oh, this is important, I need to do it. No, because if it has nothing to do with your business, it's not that important, and it's not that important, and it can wait. Just like you couldn't go into a job and say, oh, I have to leave, and you do that every day, right? If you have a job, you have things that you have to do. Every job requires you to do certain things in order for that business to be profitable and successful, right?
Right.
Well, take that same mentality and put that into your own business. You're working for the success of that business.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that until today, that I, um, that I could actually spend 8 hours actually. If with this, I mean, with what you're telling me, is I could actually, get all these things done within 8 hours, spend my time doing that. I was busy doing other things home because I work from home. So, the lines get crossed. And so, it's just, like,
Distractions,
yeah,
distractions. It's
yeah,
easier to get distracted because you don't have
structure.
you don't have structure.
Yeah,
Because home things can be left to when you get off of work.
yeah,
So just like when you wake up in the morning,
yeah,
you drag yourself out of bed, okay, you do the things you need to do on the home front, and then you go to work. And when you go into a space, so create that environment too. Create a space for you that will allow your brain to connect to, when I walk into this space, even if it's a dining room,
even if it's a
even
closet,
if it's a dining room, even if
even
it's
if
a dining room, even if it's a closet, even if it's just this very small space, or it
yeah,
could be on the floor. But the moment you walk into that space, the moment you see something in particular,
yeah,
go into, I'm at work.
yeah, yeah,
And anyone or anything that comes that comes and wants something from you, I'm at work. I'll connect with you at lunch, on my lunch break. So if you're gonna do, not if, do 8 hours a day. Give yourself a 15-minute break, then get a lunch, and then have a 15-minute break, and then go home, just like you were at any other job, because you are at a job. Forget that it's your business. Just look at it as, I have to go to work. If I don't go to work, I don't get paid, because that's what happens. If you don't go to work, you won't get paid. If you don't go to work, your business will not be successful. If you don't go to work, your business is not going to move forward. If you don't go to work, your business is just going to it's going to fail. At some point, you're just going to get tired of nothing. So, put things into order. Put things into order. If you put things into order, you can move your business forward. If you don't start putting things in place for you to do what you need to do for your own business, it's, for some reason, it's really hard for a person to really and truly move from a place of being the worker to the
yeah.
business owner.
It
So
is.
if it's
It is.
really hard for you to separate yourself from being a worker and a business owner,
Yeah,
then own that and let that work for you. Become the worker in your business. See that business
yes,
as, that's
yeah.
not even yours.
I know.
Start naming the business. Start using the name, I work at.
I know. I
I
know.
work at.
I know.
So what's your
I
business
know.
name?
Um, Slumber Party HQ.
I work at Slumber Party HQ. And start repeating that over and over and over and over and over into your mind. I work at Slumber Party HQ. I work at Slumber Party HQ. I work at Slumber Party HQ. Because if you understand that you can't get out of that habit of being a worker, then let that worker be work for you.
It's true. That's true.
Own what you are. Own how you feel. Own you stop trying to force yourself to think a certain way. It doesn't make sense. Work with what you have because
Yeah.
what you have is your strength. You know that it's your business, but that's
Yeah.
okay. It can be something that's far off. Let's just work towards you being a worker and you doing what you need to do so you can get paid. Do what you need to do so you can get paid. And you know how you get paid? Even if you have to take money from out of your bank, or you can say to someone, hey, take go to the bank and take out $5.
Pay yourself $5.
$5. And at the end of the week, pay yourself that $5 and jump up and down and then put it back into the pot. So that you work another week and you go, ooh, I'm working. And at the end of the week, you now take over, now you have two people inside of you. You're like, it's payday. You give yourself that $5. If you cannot get out of the mindset that you're a worker, then let the worker mindset work for you. It just makes sense. Own what you are. Own how you are. Stop fighting it. Stop looking at it as it's this darkness. You understand? Or it's this thing that it's it's a weakness and all of that. Then we all have weaknesses. So turn that weakness into a strength. Get up and go to work. You got to go to work, and you go there and you sit in that space and you do what you need to do. If you need to create a roles and responsibilities, then create a roles and responsibilities for yourself because it makes sense. Here are the things because actually you do have a role and responsibility. Your responsibility as a CEO of your company, and you need to go and you need to pull one of those things down so that you can see what your roles and responsibilities to that company is. Okay? You pull it down and you do what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay? You have a job to do. Get up every morning and gingerly take yourself into that space and do what you need to do. Work on those tasks that you need to do. And before you leave work every day, already have or pull up your calendar so that you can see all the things you need to what you need to do for tomorrow so that you can get yourself in your mindset straight to go and do what you need to do. Thanks for stopping by and have a good one. Okay, so let's just focus on building your business by working in your business and performing the tasks you need to do in order to grow your business. So your tomorrow should look a lot brighter than today. You should be inspired to, okay, I have X amount of time left in this day, right? Because this session and what came before the session is a part of your workday, right? Because you had to get your mind into place. So now what you do is you start creating it for the rest of, for the rest of your workday today, create those tasks so that tomorrow when you get up with purpose. You do what you need to do for home and family, and then you go into that space that's your workspace. And then you get to work by starting to work on that first task. And if I were you, I would knock out the smaller tasks first before you tackle that business plan, because we're going to have to come up with a strategy for you for that business plan. Because we've been trying to get you to create that for a long time, right? And so we're gonna do a strategy. We're gonna break the business plan down as well into chunks.
Okay.
smaller, manageable chunks so that you can get to that. You can get to the end. Okay?
Okay.
So it was wonderful having you here today. And I look forward to hearing what you were able to accomplish next week. And hopefully we can do this again another day, because honestly, people are gonna get the opportunity to see what it is like, what the mindset is like, what the challenges are for someone who decided they wanted to go into business.
Yes.
You want to go into business, and you know that you want this,
I'm
but
55 years old, going into business.
but the half of your mind is willing and half of your mind is fighting it, right? So there's a part of you that's for it, and there's a part of you that's trying to run from it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the fear of not only failure, but it's also the fear of success.
Yeah.
It's change.
Yeah.
And
Check.
so let's break it into small chunks so that so that those changes will come, so that your subconscious, because when things happen too quickly, our subconscious rejects it,
Yeah.
right?
Fight or
But
flight.
when they happen slowly, your subconscious has time to digest it, to stick this big toe in it and say, what's that temperature? Do I like it? I don't know. But because it's happening at a manageable pace, you will find that the resistance stops, and it starts
Until it
working for
stops,
you
but it's
instead of against
slowly,
you.
yeah, it's slowly
But it
like
has to happen in a
lesson.
slow. It can't just that there are people who can do it, like it can. I know I can do it because I have a different way of being, but it's something that you have to practice and you have to step into, and it takes a long time to get to being able to do things in that manner, right? So slow and steady always wins the
Yeah,
race.
yeah,
Slow and steady wins the race. Whenever you get discouraged and you're like, I should be further along, slow and steady wins
yeah,
the race.
yeah,
Slow and steady wins the race.
yeah.
Okay.
And I just remember this morning that it just to and I even put it on my sticky note to myself, is to remember you are building a business with a strong foundation and it takes time. Enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process,
Yeah,
because within anything, there's a process to everything.
yeah, yeah. And I
Because
wanted
there
it
was,
fast. I wanted
yes,
it
and
fast.
there
I
was
was
a
trying to be
process,
fast. It's like something in me just wanted quick, 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 quick. You gotta be
right?
quick. You gotta
Because
be
you think
fast.
you're running out of time.
Yes. And
Yeah,
I
but
realized that I have been watching a lot of things, and the one of the things that they said is scarcity.
yes,
Scarcity causes people to, like,
yes, that
because a scarcity makes you want to run and do things, put things in action. It
yeah,
forces people to make a decision. And
yeah,
that's what I was trying to do. Like, I was having a scarcity moment in my
yeah,
mind.
scarce mentality.
Yes. And that was just affecting me. And when I
Yeah,
realized that, I was like, oh, I get it now.
right.
Scarcity. I have
But
to,
that's how advertisers get people to buy stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Buy now, book
yeah,
now. There's
yeah,
only three left. There's only one left. And you have this countdown. Not so. They have 15 million things that they're trying to offload onto you.
yes, yes,
So they're going to let you think that they don't have enough. And if you think they don't have enough, you're going to buy it up now.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But business building, doing things in a hurriedly manner, there you're going to miss a lot of things and you're going to have to go back.
yeah,
So now you're having to go back to scratch, which is something that we've talked about over and over. Is, hey, you have to get these smaller things out of the way, and you go, yeah, I know, and then you go after that big thing, and all the small things just keep piling up. They're still piling up, and then you get to this place where you go, oh man, how am I going to get that big thing? And when you look up, 3 months have gone by.
Mm-hmm.
A year has gone by. 2 years has gone by. And you're in the exact same space. So there'll be less discouragement with movement, with progress. And progress can only come when you are doing something. So be productive. The rest of your workday today, you look beautiful, by the way. The rest
Okay.
of your workday today should be to create that, to create those tasks. Open it up all the way that you get the full feature so that you can begin to create subtasks within those main tasks.
How do I open it up all the way? I tried.
Okay, so
Um,
okay, I'm going to share. Okay, are you able to see?
yes.
Okay, so what I did was I went over to Google Play because remember I told you in order for you to get the full effect of tasks
Right.
that you can download it to your so here what I'm showing you here is where you can download Google Tasks to your phone,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Um, So once you download it to your phone, you will be getting access to a lot of the extra features
Oh,
within the app.
okay.
So let's do this. Okay, so let me show you what I did. You're able to see my email, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go up here where you see the dots, and you're gonna click on Google Apps.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go all the way down to the bottom because they don't have tasks up here.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to go all the way down to the bottom and you're going to click on more from Google Workspace
Okay.
Marketplace, right? And then um, up here, you can put tasks. So where's the Google task? Okay. So why is it not Google task down below? Maybe this will only work. You know what? Let me, because I have Google Workplace, right?
Okay.
And you don't. I
Okay.
don't think you do. So I have more options than you do. Give
Oh,
me, I'm going to pull it up and then we can do this outside of the live stream
okay.
um, today. Okay. So we'll jump off this live stream, and then what you can do is you can go ahead and start focusing on putting your tasks, just adding the baseline of tasks,
Hmm.
and then I will show you how to break your tasks down into subtasks. If we're even able to do that for you based on what options you have on your system.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So thank you for coming on. I look forward to having you on the show again.
Oh, thank you.
So did we help you today?
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Have a good one.
All right.